Recording in progress.
Well, thank you for attending this short presentation. We're here to give you a quick overview on the Aurum Foundation. I don't work for this company. I'm not paid to present this information. I'm not here to sell you anything because I have nothing to sell. I'm here really to share some information, just some of my own opinions, my own thoughts. I've gathered a lot of information about this, putting together my own due diligence. Of course, I highly recommend you do your own. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a CPA. It's always prudent to seek what I would say professional advice, getting involved in any opportunity. What I liked here was Mr. Bryan Benson is the CEO. He's from the United States, worked in the bank with Morgan Stanley as a trader before he went to work with Binance. At Binance, he did great things. In fact, 20% of all Binance revenue was generated through the business this man created in LATAM. That was Central and Southern America. His job was to go down and do the due diligence for Binance, to do all the banking relationships, open the offices, generate the markets. Bryan Benson did a great job down there. He opened Chile, Peru, Colombia, up north a little bit, Mexico, back down Brazil, Argentina, and everywhere in between. This man is the Bryan Benson. What does that tell us? He's got a lot of experience. What else does it tell us? He's got a lot of connections. That said, I did a Google on him anyway. I was pleased to see there are people everywhere. You can see there's younger images here of him, here and here and here. There's some up-to-date images of him. What else did I see? I saw the Binance shirt. I saw the Binance t-shirt. Did I see Aurum here somewhere? Yes, I see him with the Aurum. This is good when you see history. And it lets you know that, if you compare the photographs, it is the same guy. These are just some of the things I would go through. That said, I read then on Forbes that they had written very positively about the Aurum opportunity. They mentioned that Aurum provides institutional grade trading. And then it was quite shocking to see that at the end of 2025, they invited Mr. Bryan Benson from Aurum onto the Forbes Council. Now, that tells you what they think of him. Certainly a man of reputation, a man of experience, a man of knowledge, to be invited to the Forbes Council, and they have a whole page on him over there. So that was good to read. I then learned that they had created a relationship with the issuing bank of Visa. I went and found out who is the bank that issues this. I found out that they are a regulated bank, which is good news. And therefore, I would assume that the bank has done their due diligence on this company. I'm sure they know Bryan Benson. They probably asked for last year's accountancy. They've checked the licenses before they would partner with Aurum. And you can see this card is co-branded, and that's quite hard to do, but not when you're Bryan Benson, of course. And this is a special card. We'll talk about that later. I also noticed that Mr. Benson was traveling around the world building the Aurum brand. I thought that was quite interesting. I heard he was in Argentina at the end of 25 at the Ethereum conference. It was a big conference, annual conference. It moves around the world, but last year it was in Argentina. He was down at that. He was speaking here at the Token 2049. This is the largest of all blockchain events. It was held at the Marina Bay Sands in Singapore in early October, the same time as the Formula One was on. 25,000 people showed up here, and the tickets were $1,000 to get in. I like my music. If the Rolling Stones were playing, I'd love to go see them. Would I pay $1,000? Don't know. Don't know would I pay $1,000. I'd pay $300. I'd pay $400. But would I pay $1,000 to go and listen to this man? 25,000 people queued up outside for hours and hours. I sent some people down there to check it out, and it was hectic getting into this. Everybody was there. I think Donald Trump's sons were here. Anybody who's anybody in this blockchain space were there. You can see Justin's son was there from Tron. He created Tron. That's the TRX, if you're familiar with that. Richard Tang, a friend of Bryan's, they both worked at Binance. Richard got the job as CEO when CZ moved on in Binance, and I suppose a lot of you are happy that Richard Tang got the Binance job, because if Bryan had been the CEO of Binance, we probably wouldn't be having this chat today. So it was interesting to note that here's a company that's putting itself in the amphitheater of blockchain and crypto expertise. And that tells me we have a company that's not afraid to open its books, a company that's not afraid to expose itself, to be there, to have a stand there, to speak there, to sponsor this event. It gave me a lot of confidence, I got to say. And not only that, just in the second week of December last year, 2025, he was also engaged at another big event in the Emirates. Now, they have this thing called the Finance Week in the Emirates. And Bryan Benson again was speaking here, and that just shows you what caliber or respect that this man has gotten globally. He was interviewed by Wendy O, one of these social media experts. I mean, that's something you should probably listen to. Listen carefully to her questions, and then obviously listen to his answers. But I had to listen to this twice. You know, I thought it was very good content there. So part of the due diligence, maybe to suss all this stuff out for yourself. But then I noticed here also back in Abu Dhabi, you could see here the moderator was AJ from EaseFlow, but look who's on stage here. This is a panel of experts. We've got Arpit Sharma, we've got Bryan Benson. Who's he? He's the CEO of Aurum, the company we're about to look at. Sebastian next door to him was the co-founder and the present COO of Sandbox. Do you know what Sandbox is? There's your Google. Go find out who Sandbox is. Go find out who 1inch here. Anton Bukak is the co-founder of 1inch, sitting on stage with the CEO of Aurum. Not a bit of wonder, I suppose, Forbes invited this man to the Finance Council. Anyway, that's who's steering the ship. That's the captain of Aurum. That's the guy with the experience. That's the guy with the knowledge. That's the guy that's building this business. Now, moving away now from the company, let's take a quick look at the product suite that they offer and what's coming in the future, what they have right now, and also the ecosystem they're developing. This is a point of sale terminal you can see on the left-hand side of the page. Great device, very beneficial for shops on 3 accounts. Number one, a shop could now advertise we accept crypto payments, because this machine, unlike the machines out there presently that only accept fiat, the national currency payments, this machine also accepts crypto payments. So if a shop could advertise we accept crypto payments, that could generate new business, more business for these businesses and merchants. So this is a great product. In addition to that, we can speed up the transactions. Sometimes when you pay with Visa or MasterCard, the shop doesn't have the money. You've paid okay, but the money's sitting with Visa. It's the old banking rails of Visa and MasterCard. And maybe the shop won't get paid for a week from now or 2 weeks. Even I've been told, depending on your product, they could hold on to it for a month. So the cash flow is kind of interrupted when you use the old banking system. This new banking system with blockchain can settle payments much quicker. That gives more cash flow to shops and merchants. So that's another reason to have this: faster payments and lower payments. So unlike the traditional banking rails, which is slow and clunky, and this, because of blockchain, we can reduce the fees. Let's say Visa was charging the shop 5% on a transaction. Well, what if Aurum charged 1.2% or 2.2%? Something much less. So if you can save shops costs on transaction fees, if you can speed up the payments so there's better cash flow, and if you can offer crypto payments, this is a great reason to have one of these. And obviously, from a branding point of view, if you're going into shops and seeing this device, you go, oh yeah, I've heard of that Aurum, I've seen that Aurum thing somewhere. But not only that, here's the question you should be asking: what's in this for you? Well, what they're working on right now, I'm told, is they're developing software to generate micropayments, meaning that every time this is machine used, if it was you that introduced this to a shop, you would get a small micropayment every time this device is used. So when somebody goes shopping, you get paid. How does that sound? So that's one of the products. I believe there'll be a prototype of this ready at the launch in Dubai. They've already have this in the office. They're still working on software. Then it'll go into manufacturing, I suppose, and then it'll roll out to the different markets. So great product. They're also designing these ATM machines, which are two-way ATM machines. So you can put paper money in, your pound, your euro, your dollar, and it will generate a crypto payment to your digital wallet. But it'll also do the opposite. If you need cash and you had cryptocurrency, you could generate a QR code, present it to the ATM, and it would pay out the paper money to you if you needed cash in a particular country. So this is further down the track. The point of sale terminal is right on our doorstep here. They also have this exchange up and running as well. This is something very hard to do. For most companies, it's nearly impossible to generate an exchange because you need so much liquidity. You need a lot of volume and trading volume to make one of these work. But when you're Bryan Benson, it appears not to be that difficult. He's so well connected through Binance, through his banking career with Morgan Stanley, through his blockchain expertise. I mean, he was an ambassador for Algorand, if you're familiar with that blockchain. His reputation around the world, everybody knows this guy. So he's well supported in that event. Now, I wouldn't have any use for one of these. I don't know how to trade, or not even interested in learning. However, I might at some point want to swap a little bit of USDT into Bitcoin. I might learn how to do that, or I might want to swap a little bit of Bitcoin over into Ethereum. Like, you could do that on these exchanges. That would be the only reason I need it. But then I found out they have a fabulous inbuilt product to this platform. It's called liquidity staking product. And I found this very interesting, where you can get between 17 and 20% a year on your money. Now, imagine I met you and I said, hey, I found a bank that's offering 17 to 20% a year on your money. Would you be interested in opening an account with them? You go, what? 17 to 20%? How does that work? People would flood to that bank. People would flood to that bank. Here, parking your crypto is very clever here, because you get paid your yield not annually. You don't have to wait a year or a month. You get paid every day. So if you put in a little bit of Bitcoin, you'd get more Bitcoin every day added to your wallet. Or if you put in XRP, you get more XRP every day added to your wallet. So it's a staking product, but it pays daily. The other thing I liked about this is there's no lock-in. There's no time frame like, well, you have to leave it for a year, or you have to leave it for 6 months, or 1 month, or 1 week. No, put it in today, take it out tomorrow. Or put it in today, take it out today. That's what I like. So this is a great product. It's better than the bank, better than gold, better than property. You can't get 17 to 20% a year on property. Can't do it. You'll get 5 to 10% if you're lucky. So I think this is a great product. Here's a customer account I was showing. The customer put in $1,000. It's not $1,000, guys. Have a look. It's 1,008.94. So every day this customer is getting free dollars, USDT, should I say. And then they put in 0.1 BTC. Can you see that? But it's not 0.1 anymore. It's 0.00184. So it's receiving free Bitcoins every day added to its wallet. And of course, you can withdraw any time you want. So that's up and running already. Now let's hear from Bryan Benson himself. This man saw so many people becoming millionaires and multimillionaires when he worked at Binance. At that time, he was the managing director in Binance, but now he's the CEO here for him. So he wants personally to generate 1,000 millionaires here at Aurum. Let's have a listen.
We're on a mission to create 1,000 millionaires that don't have $1 million today. So if we can come up with a system whereby there's, hundreds of thousands of people in there, but 1,000 of these people turn into millionaires, then those assets are inside of our platform. That turns us into a unicorn right away. And so that's really the goal that I have as an executive at the company, is how do we get people that don't have $1 million today to get them to $1 million through saving, through yield-bearing assets, through a lot, compounding interest, through a lot of these things that have been around for a long time, but that not everyone in the world uses. And these are tools that are super important to get us there. So that's how we're measuring it internally, is if we can get to the point where we have 1,000 people that have become millionaires through our system and through working with our products, then that gets us really close to the unicorn valuation. And we want to be a fintech unicorn. I think Binance was the fastest fintech unicorn ever in the history. I think it took less than 6 months. We used to have a slide about that in our pitch deck. So I'm pretty sure I've done this before. I've been involved in one of the fastest growing fintech unicorns in the world. And I think what we have at Aurum is actually very similar to when I started at Binance.
I think what we have at Aurum is very similar to what we had when I worked at Binance. Listen to the words, I've done this before. And that's what I like. As much as it's nice for somebody to think of a great idea and go and create that idea, I would have more confidence in somebody that's already been in that arena, already had success there, already have that experience than starting maybe out to achieve it first time around. So that appealed to me a lot. This gentleman has experience. Now, to test the platform, it's going to cost a subscription of $20 annually. So we know we paid to use the gym. It costs a lot more than $20 a year. 4 cups of coffee would cost $20 one time, never mind per year, but you spend on a cup of coffee or a soft drink. But it's $20 for the entire year to use their products. And we'll take a look at some of those. This one here appears to be everybody's favorite. It's called the XAI bot or the EXAI bot. It's been around since 2023. It was originally set up for the banks, for the what you call the accredited investors, for venture capitalists. I think I read on Forbes, it was either Forbes or Binance had written this article, or was it Global Newswire? One of those had written that Bryan Benson closed a $12 million VC, venture capitalist, into this bot. Must have been back in 23. And I also heard rumors that a bank offered them $100 million for this technology, and they refused. They refused $100 million for this way back at the outset. Now, they operated for about a year and a half before they decided to go down the affiliate road, and they got advice to test the market in the affiliate arena, because they were told that if they were going to launch an exchange in the future, it'd be a great idea to have a community behind that exchange, to have lots of users, token holders, wallet holders. So in September 24, I believe, they actually opened the retail version of this for the public. So once it's nearly 3 years old, to the public, it's only been operating maybe a year and a half at this stage. And I like that as well. Sometimes people like to get involved in new opportunities and brand new business, but too many brand new businesses fail and fall over before they get off ground. What I liked about this was they don't need your money to build their business. Lots of companies, they talk about building an ecosystem, but they want your money to build that. They want your money to build out the tech. They want your money to create this ecosystem. It's always mañana, tomorrow, we're getting this and we're doing that. What I found out about this company was, well, they already have the offices, they already have the licenses, they already have the payment solutions with Visa, they already have the exchange, they already have the liquidity products, they already have the trading box, they already have the point of sale terminals in the office. The only thing they don't have is the ATM machines. So here's a company that has the infrastructure and the technology. They don't need our money. They need our custom as users, and that makes a lot of sense to me. Other companies launch tokens and they mint and mine and do all this nonsense. That's because they're trying to generate money. These guys won't launch the token until they have at least 300,000 users, and until there's utility required for a token. So just like BNB that helped Binance start at 8 cents, it went from 8 cents to up over $800. The Aurum token, maybe in 2 or 3 years from now, will launch, and that will be needed for the point of sale terminals, the ATM machines, for the trading on the exchange, and there has to be a use case for a token. So there could be some potential with that. I'm not saying, but in the future, there could be some potential for a token as well. Now, that said, this product here we're looking at has done over 500%. I would say it's getting close to $100 million trading at this point. I know in November the 1st, in 25, there was 56 million trading. You actually can see that there, but this year it's growing rapidly. The average yield that it's done monthly is working out at about 17.5% on average. Of course, customers can't acquire that. You won't get that kind of percentage. What you'll get will be determined by the deposit you make to your own account. So what actually happens is you download an app, if you wish, from, let's say, Apple Pay or the Google Play, and it's a banking app. You know the way you have all these apps for the phones. You download the application, you log in, and you have 8 wallets. They give you 8 wallets, so you'll have your own Bitcoin wallet. There's nothing in it, by the way, until you put something in it. You'll have your own Ethereum wallet, your own BNB wallet. You get a USDT wallet. You'll get an Aurum token wallet. You'll get a Pepe wallet, Doge wallet. There must be another one, because I think they give you 7 or 8 wallets. Polygon, you get a Polygon wallet as well. Now, you make a deposit into your own bank account, and depending on that would determine the rate of success that you're going to have. So let's say you said, okay, I'm going to try this for $150. You can see that 150 is between 100 and 249. So therefore, you're going to get benefits within around about 10% a month. Now, people will ask, well, what is it they're trading? They're trading the top 15 pairs on CoinMarketCap. And it's spot trading. They don't use leverage. They keep the risk low. Remember, this is institutional grade trading, according to Forbes. So that means the risk management profile is a lot tighter. It's a lot more regulated than the Wild West of trading. So, by the way, it's run by AI. You'll find that 80% of all trading now is done by AI, but it's the technology behind it, it's the data feeds. I mean, these guys pay Bloomberg. They get news feeds from Twitter, from all the news channels, from all the crypto exchanges. You get all this information. The AI can calculate like 10,000 processes in a second, faster than humans. It's crazy what it can do. And the risk management is also built into it as well. I'm told there's 28 different strategies. They're not all used at once. But at the end of the day, it's all done for you. The AI does it. It's like you going to ChatGPT and asking it to create something for you. It'll do it in a second. Like, how does that happen? Same here. This is faster. It seems to be very, very reliable. It's got a good track record, good performance. So if you can do more than $249, you're going to enjoy, let's say you did $700 or $400. It'll fall into the second category. You're going to get approximately 11% a month. If you can do between 1 and 2,500, you get 12, etc., etc. You can see there, the bigger the deposit you put in your own account, the better the rewards that you're likely to achieve. Now, by the way, the couple of questions I would get about this is, well, can you take out the money? That's always a big question. Said, well, absolutely. Yes, you can take out the profit any day you wish, and every day if you wish. Can you take out your principal? That's the next question I would get. Yes, you can. Depending on which bot you have, there's 6 bots. You can take it out anytime you want. There's one bot, the EXI bot. You can only take it out on the 1st day of every month, the 10th day of every month, and the 20th day of every month. So 3 times a month. So what I assume is your money's over in Binance, or they use Binance, they use Kraken, OKX, and the other one is KuCoin. So they trade on where all the liquidity is on those big exchanges. And if you needed to withdraw, obviously they need to close down the trades and send the money over to your account before you withdraw. So they ask you, if you needed your money, it'll be the 1st, the 10th, and the 20th. That's the principle. The profit every day if you want it. So that's how that particular products, but they've 6 more of these that don't have that requirement. You can withdraw profit and principal any day you wish. Now, that said, let's take a quick look at a couple of accounts here. This is a small account with $500. It started on the 17th of April, but it produced $382 of profit. Can you see the deposit here is now 882? It started with 500. So effectively, it's generated 382 of profit. The question is, well, in what time frame did it create $382 of profit? Well, the answer, if you cast your eyes, is to the bottom right-hand corner, 17th of September. So if the account opened on the 17th of April, and we're looking right now at the 17th of September, that's exactly 5 months. So in 5 months, this account made $382. So would that excite you? I don't think I was excited. $382 out of 500. It's all a matter of opinion. When you actually calculate the rate that was, what you do is you take the profit, the 382, and you set it on top of the 500 deposit. So you have 382 over 500. And how maths works is you divide the 500 number, the deposit, into the profit. When you divide the 500 into 382 and multiply it by 100, it works out at 76.4% in 5 months. So tell me, what piece of real estate could you buy anywhere in the world that would make you 76% in 5 months? What bar of gold could you buy in 5 months would make 76%? What bank could you deposit in that could generate 76%? It's a phenomenal reward, a phenomenal reward. So when you look at it mathematically, yes, it's very good. And that's just a small account. You can start with less than that. $100, I think, is the minimum they allow you to start with. Now, let's take a look at a larger account. This one started on the 10th of April, account ending in number 1972. This was started with 10,000, but look on the screen, guys, it's 12,360. This account has made $2,360. What's the question? How long did it take to make $2,000? The answer is on the bottom right-hand side. Can you see the 16th of May? So when did the account start? 10th of April. 10th of April to 10th of May is 1 month. And the 10th of May to the 16th is 6 days. 1 month and 6 days, this account made $2,300. That is 23% in 5 weeks. We were able to log into this again on the 24th of June to see the progress. That's another 5 weeks. 5 weeks later, the same account ending in 1972, commenced on the 10th of April, is now sitting at $15,500. 55% in 10 weeks. After 12 weeks, 2 more weeks, it made another $2,000, $17,000. And after 4 months, this particular account doubled. The 10,000 is sitting slightly over $20,000. 10,000 profit. Incredible. Now, past performance is not indicative of future results. You can't tell me the results of the lottery in 3 weeks from now. You can't predict to me the price of Bitcoin in Wednesday at 7 o'clock next Wednesday. Can you tell me what price Bitcoin will be? No. So it's really dependent on the trading performance. It's averaging between 10 and 16% the customers will get. The company's getting on average 17.5. The company has to make money. This account that we just looked at, we were able to see it on the end of the year, on the 10th of December. Have a look at the bottom arrow here, 10th of December. Can you see that bottom right? That same account, 1972, started on the 10th of April, is sitting at 39,500. The customer only put in 10,000, remember. That's incredible. In how many months is that? April? That's 8 months. In 8 months, it doubled twice. It doubled in the first 4 months, and it doubled again in another 8 months. So that's, I suppose, a high-level overview of what's on offer here. That's the EXI bot. As I said, there's 6 more of these. We're not going to cover those tonight, but they're similar, but they work differently. If you had Bitcoin, for instance, you can trade Bitcoin against the dollar. If you had a little bit of Ethereum sitting on a platform doing nothing, you can trade the Ethereum against the dollar, or the BNB against the dollar. These bots don't perform just as well as that first guy, because this one's been running for 3 years. Some of these only started in 2024. That one started in 23. And some of these only started early 25. I think some of these started in February of 2025. So all of them are almost a year old. The second oldest one is the Pro, and the oldest guy is the EXI bot. I really like the EXI bot. I think it's one of the better ones, although they're all quite good. The last thing I want to talk about on this call is the card. Now, this is quite interesting as well. It works with Apple and Google Pay, but here's the interesting thing. They're going to have actually 4 of these types of cards, to suit different budgets, starting from $33. One-time fee. For $33, you can get one of these. There's going to be one at $66. There's going to be one at $99. And this particular one we're looking at on the screen here, it's called the Infinity card. That one is $249. Have a look at this here. There's one there, $249. Now, what's interesting about this one is they don't ask for your driver's license or your passport. They don't ask for a bank statement or a bill. You just can get this card with no KYC. Very strange, but very impressive. And that really tells you who Bryan Benson is when he can put together deals like this. You can load up to 100,000 a month on it. Not that everybody needs 100,000 a month, but if you have money anywhere else, let's say you have money on Trust Wallet or money on what else are these things called? Trust Wallet and MetaMask and Binance and Coinbase. If you USDT over there, you can bring it into your bank account here at Aurum, just deposit here, and immediately press top up and send it straight onto the card. And that gives you a way to spend cryptocurrency anywhere in the world where Visa and MasterCard are accepted. You don't need to go and find it, swap it and change it somewhere. You don't need to go and find an exchanger. You just import it to your own wallet here at Aurum, press top up, and now you've got your crypto to go and spend. Makes it very simple to use crypto. So that's a great product there. You can learn more about that. Let's have a look at it.
Here we go then, second official transaction.
Those purple and white. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you, Mina.
Thank you.
So John has his card since June 25, I believe. And that was the second time he ever used it. He sent me that video. I wanted to see it working. And he stopped the bot trading and went top up and sent the profit onto the card. And his wife says, John, go down and get some milk and see does that crypto thing work. And he went down to the shop and he's tried it all over Europe. He's told me it works on the ATM machines. You can buy anything with it. It's really, really, really good. So very pleased to see that in place even before the company launches. So, and again, it works at the ATM machines. We've seen it working here.
Okay, in goes the Aurum card. Balance. Okay, so there's 5,720 on the thing. Let's do a transaction. Let's take out cash in the receipt. Let's take out other. Maximum 800. So the fee is $3.99. Accept and proceed.
That's half of 1%. 1% would be $8. There we go. So that's kind of like a product demonstration there. So that's our presentation over. I want to thank you all for listening in. Appreciate your time. Please do get back to the person that shared this information with you. Get your very valid questions answered. And I hope the decision you come to is the right one for you and your family. Make sure you do your due diligence, get your questions answered, and we'll see you all again soon. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.
Recording stopped.
Well, there we go, guys. So on the 17th of January, there's a launch event, an official launch in Dubai. Quite a few people have qualified to get out here. Some people have their flights covered. Some people are getting tickets. Some people are getting hotels covered. Really depends. But I think, yeah, the qualification's over for that now, guys. So maybe you get to the next one. I think they do these events every 3 or 4 months somewhere in the world. It could be Cancun, it could be Las Vegas, it could be Dubai, it could be Mauritius, it could be Thailand, it could be, where else have they had them? And Antalya in Turkey. But the launch is going on at the Palazzo Versace Hotel in Dubai. Very, very nice hotel. You can actually park your boat outside or your yacht if you have a yacht. I see a marina outside here or some kind of waterway here. And in the video I saw there was boats parked outside. So that's a little bit crazy. But a very high class 5-star hotel in Dubai. I think all the hotels in Dubai are generally good. But the qualification's over to attend that event. So that's our presentation over. For those of you who'd like to sit on for a moment, I'd be happy to maybe discuss the other part of the presentation. There is an affiliate program. I'm not sure if you understand affiliate programs. I know that Apple have an affiliate program. I know that Binance have an affiliate program, and I think the best one is probably Amazon. Amazon have an affiliate program, and it appears that Aurum have decided to have an affiliate program too. So let me just run through that with you guys. Maybe I don't know if anybody interested in that part of it. Let's have a listen here.
Recording in progress.
So let's take a quick look now at the Aurum affiliate program. Again, this is optional. It's free. There's no cost for the affiliate program. If you have a bank account with these guys, they give you an affiliate link, like lots of companies do that. It's up to you whether you use it or you don't use it. So if you use it and somebody registers, they give you a bonus. Instead of paying television, instead of paying advertising, instead of paying Google ads or Facebook marketing, they give the customers that refer new customers, they give them a little handshake. It's not very much. It's 3% of the deposit. And you can have one customer or 15 or 9 or 3 or 80 or 2,000, doesn't matter. A lot of those online guys, what do you call those guys? Those influencers, they can get tens of thousands of customers. But ordinary people can get 1, 2, or 3 customers is fine. If you'd like more than 3%, you can actually qualify for 5%. And to qualify for 5%, you need to generate $7,500 of total team trading. Now, maybe your customer's only got $100, but maybe that customer has a customer who has $100, and they bring a customer with $100, and they bring a customer with $1,000, and through the whole team, you end up with $7,500 of total team trading volume. So this is not like multi-level. When I saw this first, I thought this is multi-level, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I thought this was like 7-level thing. No, it's not like that at all. It's a volume based. I mean, if you had a shop, you'd want to know what is the turnover in your shop, what's the volume you've done today. So if you do 7,500 in total volume, they promote you to Voyager and you get 5%, and they give you $100 bonus, which is your money back, really. So imagine being out of risk with one promotion. They also give you 5% every day matching bonus on the profits. Okay, so the first 5% is on the deposit. The second 5% is a daily matching bonus of what your customers generate. You get 5% equal bonus to that. So that's quite good. Now, if you want to go higher and you want 7%, well, then you need to generate $25,000 of total team trading. So maybe your customer only has 1 or 2 or 3 or 400, but the total team volume is up at 25. You do require a little bit of structure, but that will be covered on your training. If you attend a training course, they'll teach you how to build that structure if you wish. You get 7% on deposits, you get a 500 bonus, and then you get 7.5% per day on the trading profits of all customers in your entire team. Now, if somebody in your team reaches the Voyager level whilst you're Vanguard, they're going to grab 5% of the volume. You get an override of 2.5 because you're qualified for 7.5. Let's say somebody down further on down the team qualifies Voyager. From that position down, they're getting the 5. You get 7.5, 7.5, 7.5 until you come to them. Then you get 2.5, 2.5, 2.5 to infinity. And then all the other lines you might have, you get 7.5 in all open business. That's how that one works. And really, if you've understood the basis of what I've said there in those first 3 ranks, you understand 90% of our compensation plan. There's just more volume, a little bit of structure, and then you get 9%. More volume, a little bit of structure, you get 10.5%. And with each rank comes a cash bonus, 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. And there's an interesting thing here at Oracle. If you ever hit that rank, you get a percentage of the entire company's turnover, not just your own little teams, but the entire profits generated worldwide of all customers. They call it a shareholder bonus, and that's divided between Oracles and above. Now, this is a bit like traditional business. If you worked in a shop when you got promoted to supervisor of the shop, that's like going from Nova to Voyager. You're a supervisor, you get a pay rise. You've been with the shop for 8 months. They recognize you're good, and they give you that promotion. And then you might go later on, a year later, they might offer you a job as manager of the store. So that's like going from Voyager to Vanguard, and then you get a pay rise. And then maybe 2 or 3 years later, the boss goes, you know what? This shop here that you're manager of is the best shop of all our shops. We have 6 in the district. This is the #1 performing. We'd like you to be area manager of all these shops now, not just this one. So you get a pay rise to area manager. And that's like going from Pro to Nexus. You get a pay rise. And then ultimately, at some point, you might become a director. It's the same idea. These are just pay rises based on volume and the performance of your team and a little bit of structure, because you've got to help other people as well. You can't do this without helping other people. So that's a little bit how it works. That's the first 7 ranks. I said there were 15 of these. So it's a 2-page comp plan. Here's the next page. If you hit the elite rank, you get a $20,000 bonus. The magnets get 50. The mythoses get 100, etc., etc. And I don't know if you heard earlier, but or of any of the calls that Bryan Benson talks about, he wants to generate 1,000 millionaires. That's his goal. He did it at Binance. He wants to do it here at Aurum. So if you work your way hard and diligently, developing the business, building on the customer base, if you ever hit the rank of Dominion, you most certainly would be considered a millionaire at that stage. And here's why. This one bonus for hitting that rank pays $500,000. In addition to that, you would already receive your 150, your 100, your 50, and your 20. There's $820,000 bonuses. Never mind what was on the first page. Then you get these direct profit bonuses. Then you get these matching daily bonuses and all the profits, plus these shareholder bonuses. I have no doubt anybody that reaches Dominion, and probably before, because I've spoken to 2 people that already made $1 million from this, they hit $1 million earning capacity before they reached the Dominion rank. There you go. So, and of course, there's more after that. But in terms of just a brief overview, again, don't be misled that high earnings are easily achieved. There's hard work involved here. If there's commitment, it's down to you. Not everybody's going to be successful. Some will do a lot, some will do a little, and some will do nothing. That's just the way life is. So, but whatever, please do get back to the person that shared this with you. Get your very valid questions answered. Do your due diligence, seek a professional advice. And with that said, I hope you come to the right decision. And with that, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And we'll see you all again next week. Thank you and have a great rest of your day.